hormonal shifts in our brains and our bodies. There are chemical misfirings or whatever in our brains that can influence our moods. I understand we can use all the tools to divert, etc. And there is some reality of chemistry in our bodies. To wake up feeling like crap, for example, and have to have the pep talk.
Yes. It's a beautiful question. And that is why we need to study again and again until the knowledge is settled in our mind and we get out of the delusion. Having said that, now understand what we are learning. What I say, the Eastern wisdom. And the Eastern wisdom separates the real self from the non-self. First. And that real self cannot be affected, influenced, dictated by any chemical, any hormone, anything from outside. That is the second point. So once I understand that there is an entity within all of us, which we say real self, it is the pure consciousness that is beyond the impact of any chemical, any brain, any thought in the mind. Now comes your question that it is a reality that the hormone, influences us. So, who we are we the real self or are we the brain? We are not the brain. We are not the chemicals. This is the third point. Now comes the fourth point, which is the essence of the Eastern wisdom. What is that essence? Until we evolve and awaken to real self, the brain is using the consciousness under limitations. Then your statement is true. As long as the brain is using the consciousness, then we definitely will be influenced and dictated by hormonal imbalance or balance. Right? Now, what happens when we learn and study Eastern wisdom? We reach to a state where consciousness is using the brain. Consciousness is using the brain. When the consciousness is using the brain all the time, you need not to worry about these things. So what happens? Consciousness is all-knowing and it is using the brain. It will take care of itself. Until then, your statement is true. After that, your statement breaks away and melts away. Now the fifth point. What we are looking for. The Eastern wisdom says we are looking for discovery of the real self. So when I discover my real nature, that is our goal. That is our goal. So, once you discover your real nature, these things become secondary in your life. It appears the same way. Today this hormone is good, tomorrow that hormone is bad. Today is a good morning and tomorrow is a bad morning. I brought you to the same thing. So you see that what we are where we started the journey. We started the journey in Yoga Sutra. You see that Yoga Sutra has 195 principles, 195 sutra. And there is a very small little book, Sadhana Panchakam, that we did last year. So it contains only 40 steps. Right, then why to study the different text? That question may come. So, understand that. Why? And there is a second point. Leslie, I will expand your question. In a way that I am doing all this, I am attending the lessons, I am doing all the practices, still I am suffering. And those who are not doing any practice, they are also suffering. See that I am going against my own profession. Why the hell we should study? Those who are not doing, they are also suffering. And those who are doing, they are also suffering. So few people return like a peacock. So what is the reason? The reason is that I have not assimilated the knowledge very well. So when I have not assimilated the knowledge very well, then what should I do? I should continue to study and practice. Are you clear? Why I have not assimilated the knowledge? One day I say, oh, I have reached to the peak. And then other day, it is a bad morning. As usual. So it means I have not assimilated the knowledge clearly. Why I have not assimilated the knowledge? We are not going to blind belief. Everything is very much logical, rational in the journey of the Eastern. Answer your question. Why I have not assimilated the entire knowledge? Now see the other scenario. I have assimilated the entire knowledge. Then I am the highest level of a seeker. I live, work, think and speak in peace, happiness, love and wisdom. Take it, it is an awakening. That is one situation. And the other situation is, I have not assimilated the knowledge. But answer, why? It is because of hormone? It is because of vegan diet? Or non-vegan diet? Etc., etc. No. Something is left in my mind, what we say, the defects in the mind, the impurities in the mind, the ignorance in the mind. It is still there. That is why it is not working. What should I do? Next question, answer. I should continue to study, gain the knowledge, continue to the practice until this knowledge is settled perfectly and 100%. So when it is settled 100%, then what happens? You are there. You know. It is not the thought bad or good morning. Again, Leslie, I'm again using the same word. Not for you, but for everyone. Now this mind does not perceive outer conditions are responsible for my misery. It is only the mind. That is the first answer. And the second answer, the knowledge to settle in the intellect takes time. Takes time. That is why we have kindergarten, primary, middle, high school, bachelor's, master's, PhD, MS and MD. Knowledge takes time. Just by birth can you enroll into PhD. You see, knowledge takes time to settle. So many of you have been continuing the journey, but to make this understand, my mind should be calm and relaxed to understand this principle. Otherwise, you do not know. I am also suffering. You are also doing yoga and meditation, and you are also suffering. What is the difference? So when we take it at a surface level, it will not work. So we have understood in the beginning that what exactly is this Eastern wisdom or yoga to settle into the highest state of meditation. Then we understood what exactly is the cause of suffering. If you recall, there are 5 groups of thought pattern, objective states of the mind, and there are 5 subjective states of the mind. Then we came down, we said, okay, we have understood. So then what is the next question? What is the practice? Then we have understood what exactly is the practice. So I always say, regular practice with wisdom, with the knowledge inside in the intellect is there that continues to seek the real self, and searching becomes the practice. So there are 2 parts of the practice. Actual practice, whether you're breathing long and deep, saying Om, that is a practice. But do you keep your knowledge of the self in the intellect? If you don't keep the knowledge of the self in the intellect, in the field of awareness, then another problem comes. I've been doing the practice for the last 10 years, nothing happened. Nothing will happen. Why should anything happen? Why should anything happen? You are doing it habitually, instinctively. Knowledge is not there settled in the intellect. Why should it happen? It should not happen. Who is saying? I'm not saying, I don't know anything. Patanjali is saying this. Understand the knowledge. So that is why the teacher gossips again and again and again and again. That is why in the beginning I gossip before the practice. But it's a good gossip. It is directed to a particular goal. And once we understood, then Patanjali said the 4 stages of meditation, and then the final stage of meditation, where we enter into the total emptiness state of the mind. And when we have an emptiness, the knowledge of the reality, knowledge of the real self reveals. This is what Leslie I was saying. That consciousness is now using the brain. You are done with everything. So we have done it. And after that we understood what we have understood. In the next few sutras, we have understood that where we are heading to. And in the last week, we understood Om is the designator of the real self, the name. Like your name is Leslie, David, so the same way the real self. But the way I know David, say for example, so I know by the attributes of the David. I do not link David to someone else except Jerry. See, this is the knowledge. So do I keep that knowledge of the Om in the mind, and I do the practice continuously, regularly, without break? What happens? I reach to the highest state. Clear? I summarized all the sutras. Then the last week we considered that if we regularly practice with wisdom, then all the obstacles are removed even by Om meditation. Whether you say, Lara, Om 3 meditation or Om meditation. So normally we have 3 steps. So you see that? So on meditation. So now, Patanjali is very clever, very intelligent. So now he is asking that why you don't succeed. There are 9 obstacles. He did not talk in the very beginning. If he talked in the beginning, then you will say, who will do this practice? Let me take a drink, relax and sleep. Finished. You see the journey, the way you understand, the greater, the deeper the understanding, knowledge takes time to settle. So what he says, I will just name and then we will go one by one. Vyadhi styan. Vyadhi means disorder in the body level. That is why we cannot become steady. But why we cannot become steady? While practicing meditation, we will take in detail. Another word that he says, the second obstacle is styan. Styan means dullness. I have a private guidance, I coach her. She is in Phoenix, so she was laughing and she told me last week, you see that when I woke up in the morning at 5, my mind said, no, I don't want to join today, so let me send you an email to you not to join. But the next moment I said, I have to progress. You see, the knowledge settles, takes time. And then she joined. And before that, she was telling me that for the last 3 weeks, my mind says, no, I don't want to join today. I'm not feeling well. Dullness, problem. I'm just pointing, and then we will go in detail. Third is sansaya. Sansaya means doubt. Do you doubt me? Nothing will happen. If you have doubt about the knowledge, remove that doubt. That is more important. And the beauty of the masters is that, do you remember I talked in a couple of times what exactly means the doubt? The doubt for anything in the world means the knowledge is sleeping. Simply remember, I have a doubt. I have a doubt about Kate. No, knowledge is sleeping. Let me remove that doubt. Let me get more knowledge. And that your own mind makes fun of you. What the hell you are making a doubt? There is nothing to doubt. Now I have a right knowledge. So here the knowledge about the journey, about the real self. And the next one is known as pramada. Vyadhi, styan, sanshaya, pramada. Pramada means carelessness, negligence. I am sure where the mind knows the money is coming, you are never careless. Do you see that? Daniel is loud. But where the question of knowing my real self comes, I become negligent. And I have heard you, weird guy. When I am suffering, you might also be suffering. You see, the doubt has come first, and the second, because you are also suffering, hence let me also become careless. Careless about you? No, careless about yourself. So you see that the series of these obstacles prevents you to succeed in meditation. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 4 I have taken. Then the fifth one is alasya. Alasya means laziness, indolence, sloth. John was saying, can I point you out? If you don't want me to point you out, he admitted that, I went into sleep. So we have to understand why the sleep comes and how to get rid of it. Avirati. Next one is avirati, overindulgence. Or you can say clinging to the things. Okay, close my eyes. I say close your eyes, and the mind is still enjoying the pasta that I had eaten yesterday. Just an example. See, we have to go very deep. Why we have to go very deep? To understand each and every aspect. Oh, these are the challenges. That is an obstacle. That is why I do not succeed. Include hormone also. Avirati is that over. Then there comes the bhranti. Bhranti means delusion. Delusion. I say pay attention to the breath, and you associate breath with some kind of pleasure outside. Come on. This is the nature of the mind. I'm pointing out so that you can work on your mind and you know it is happening. It is happening. Bhranti, delusion, there are hundreds of delusions. Then another problem comes, non-attainment of results in meditation. I don't get the result. I practice. But so what happens when you don't get the result? You start comparing yourself with others. That is also a great obstacle. See that? Now the ninth one is, I have covered all the nine? No. I have covered, I think, the ninth one is known as darshan alabdha bhumika. It is very wonderful way the Patanjali has put it. So let me translate into English that just see that you are already into that state of meditation, but you don't recognize it. You are in your home, 2-pack, 3-pack, 4-pack. It depends on capacity. And now you are intoxicated. And you say me, take me to my home. You are already in your home. Do you see that? Did you understand that? That is the last obstacle. No. You are at your home. You are intoxicated. You are drunk. And you say to me that, why don't you take me to my home? You are already in your home. But you don't recognize it. You don't realize. Because you are intoxicated. Same way the mind is intoxicated with lot of thoughts and ideas, etc., etc., etc. I think I covered all anavasthita. And there is ninth one, I think, chitta vikshepa, darshan alabdha bhumika. And vikshepa is normal. Vikshepa means distraction, inattention, confusion. So these are the 9 obstacles that prevents you to succeed in meditation. To realize and recognize the journey of the Eastern wisdom. So, we will take up one after the other, the way the Vyasa has given the commentary on these So now comes the fundamental problem, and then we will start our journey. If I feel I am ignorant means I have an incomplete knowledge. What is the solution? Satsang. This is satsang. This kind of a gossip is satsang. You are listening and learning again and again and again and again, so that incomplete knowledge becomes the complete knowledge. That is known as satsang. Shravanam. The step is shravanam, listening and learning from a crazy teacher. If you have doubt, so where is the doubt? In your mind. What I said, doubt means knowledge is sleeping. Then you have to sit every day, contemplate and reflect on these principles, what you have learned from the teacher. So if you do not contemplate and reflect on these principles, the doubt will continue, and one day you will say, what a crazy beard guy. He has a big beard. That's why he claims that he knows everything. So still the doubt is sleeping. It has nothing to do with me. I carry that tradition. So contemplation and reflection. What will happen? The intellect will settle in discernment and dispassion. Now the intellect says, I know I have yet to achieve it, but I know what it is. And if you have a false knowledge in the mind, then practice, 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 practice. Is everything clear now? So we will take up one obstacle, two obstacles in couple of sessions in the future, and we will understand. So understand, there is no doubt. So what will happen? The moment I sit, I make my position and I sit. So I know that I can sit for about 3 to 4 hours. No issue at all. No issue. Provided if I sit in Padmasana, the lotus pose. Because the intellect is constantly removing those obstacles inside and keeps you in there. So I'm repeating again and then we will start. What is that? First thing, if I am ignorant does not mean that you are not intelligent. I'm not saying that. Master is saying ignorant means incomplete knowledge. Mind, is there a real self? No. Mind objects to it, reacts to it. Then I must listen to the teacher again and again and again and again and again and again. Why? So that he gives a different perspective, cross-referencing, and it goes into your head. If I have doubt, what should I do? Do I have a little 5 minutes, 10 minutes time to contemplate and reflect? Doubt will be removed. It is a universal principle by more than 3,000 teachers. They realize that this is what it is. And then the last one. Last one, what I said? Last one, what I said. So, what I said, if I have false knowledge in the mind, then I should practice, practice and practice. Practice, practice, practice. So, let us go for practice. Eyes are closed. Eyes are closed. Now see, based on these three, we will go. So first is, eyes are closed. Why we close the eyes? The intellect knows it fully. It is aware. Why it is aware? Because the real self is within me. I have not to pay attention what the mind brings at this moment about the room, about others, about my anxiety, about my challenges. Not this time. And then I look at the body. So when I look at the body, I make it little subtler. You see that? I am using I word as if it is you are using for yourself. So I take my mind to the neck joint. Intellect is aware of what I am seeking. See that? Intellect is aware I am coming to your house. Practice is driving. So I feel sensation, comfortable and steadiness. Check again, is the mind looking in within space? Oh, yes. So doubt is not there. See how simple. Even I can give you one practice only on one step, which you feel it is being comfortable, for the whole 1 hour. With that awareness and attention, we have to go deeper. Then the success touches our feet. Look at the shoulder joints. So mind is aware. Yes, I am looking. Not only looking, you experience the sensation, comfortable and steadiness. Check the mind is looking within or it jumps outside. So then you know the understanding between the success and the failure. I'm also talking and I'm listening to what I'm talking. And I feel and I live into that awareness. It will happen to everyone. It's not a big deal. Looking at the entire body, all the joints of the body, move the mind on all the joints of the body, one after the other. And my friends, you experience sensation, being comfortable and steadiness. Check again. You see what I said? Practice means we have studied that. Regular practice with wisdom. And the wisdom contains 2 elements, discernment and dispassion, with a goal in the mind. Then what happens? Your comfort is at the highest level. You already know I strictly adhere to the traditional wisdom. There is nothing that belongs to me. So being carefree, another way to become carefree, become aware of the world just outside your body, the room, the articles, colors and the forms and the shapes. Just an awareness. See, the mind is not attached there to anything. Then to the body, then to the breath, then come to the thoughts. This is the exact meaning, let there be a thought, let it come, let it go. So what does it mean, let it come and go? You are aware of the space behind all the thoughts. Check, are you aware? These thoughts have been continuing its journey since I started speaking and understanding the language. What the heck, why should I pay attention? The intellect says. What happens then? You may be surprised if I say the body does not want to move. Because of mind. Yes. And now we move to the next step. Look at the head and the neck, outside, on the skin. Mind and the intellect. Mind says, I'm not going anywhere. So you experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. You see that I am joining the two part. Obstacle, mind is going somewhere. And mind is not going anywhere. Result is sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Look inside. Why? Intellect is seeking the real self. So the mind naturally is looking inside, in the state of calmness and quietness. How simple. Look at the right arm. I am simply said, look at the right arm, and the mind is ever ready. It moves to an experience of sensation, relaxation, and stillness, and it is looking inside. Why it is looking inside? You know it. So you may have an experience of calmness and quietness. Now, looking at the left arm, same thing happens, I need not to say. Chest and the belly, middle portion of the body, sensation, relaxation and stillness, and inside, calmness and quietness. See that. Right leg, outside sensation, relaxation and stillness, and calmness and quietness. You see that today I'm using very few words, few instructions. When we live into that awareness which the Master talks about, we are there. Left leg, outside, sensation, relaxation and stillness, and calmness and quietness. The entire body. Oh, entire body. So you see that if the mind is totally free, it says yes. You instantly experience sensation in terms, it may be tingling, it may be numbness, it may be freezing. So intellect says, I have recognized and I accept it. Continue. And the intellect is somewhere else. discernment is not there. You know what used to happen? And then you experience the sensation, relaxation. Now you see that you made the outer instruments, which is body and the breath, free from obstacles. What is the state of well-being? Physical well-being. The body is not complaining. In that state, simply look deep inside the head. In the space, pick up a point, as if you are hammering mentally, om 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 om, mentally. Om 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 om. It is quick, fast and loud. The intellect is aware that your mind is not rushing to any other thought in between om 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 om. That is the practice. Means what? Mind has to work on the mind, bypassing the body and the breath. You are doing it mentally. Let us start. As quick, as fast. Where? In your mind. Who is doing it? Mind. Who knows it? Intellect. The intellect will realize, oh, some thought has entered in between om. And you do it faster. Increase the speed. No way. Continue. I am giving you, personalizing the practice based on the fact that you all are seekers. Beautiful. Continue. The intellect knows I will take an exit only when I find the real self. It is aware of it. So it prevents the mind. Intentionally, I am not speaking too much. Now stop the hammering, almost singing Om while moving the mind without the breath from the crown of the head to the belly button. Om with love and a feeling. And you know Om means the real self, the consciousness. And move the mind again from the belly button to the crown of the head, singing mentally Om. Only the mind is moving. The breath you bypass. You don't disturb the body and the breath. Only the mind is still working on the mind, but with a reference to a particular center, the center of action at this moment. And now move the mind from the crown of the head to the heart within, in the spine, Om, from the heart to the crown of the head. Fully aware, the path and the track is clear. Om, Om. And now, from the crown of the head to the forehead, line of the spine, just as if I see you and I recognize you. And that very name, without speaking, pops up. From the forehead to the crown, you see that when that knowledge settled, even a single step can take you to that higher state of meditation. And now you do nothing. You see that all the time, in every meditation, the last step, if you say so, is do nothing. You do nothing and still you know you are. So in that state of doing nothing, the knowledge reveals in the mind. That is the meditation. And we share our experiences only to progress. Nothing is good, nothing is bad in this journey. Nothing is higher and lower. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand. Your mind on the left hand. Take your time. Sometime mind will say, I'm not ready. I don't want. That's good. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes and open the eyes inside. Know your experiences. And bring the hands down. How are you, Stephen and Sam?
I'm really good. A very peaceful meditation. From the moment I closed my eyes, I was drawn to my heart, and it was almost like when we looked at the neck joint, we looked at all the joints, we looked at the arms, the legs, whatever it is like I looked at that and then came right back to my heart, and it was just this web game that just continued to connect me to my heart. At some point, I'm not exactly sure at the stage, I felt this sense of euphoria. And then you do remember when we hit, and it happened as we were going through the crown to the belly button, the crown to the heart. I was still connected to the heart. But as soon as we went from the crown to the forehead, there was this explosion of white light. And I just felt a sense of happiness. So thank you.
One of the best thing is that the mind return again and again to the heart, where is the seat of the real self. So it is not pushing, the mind is ready to move there. It's a wonderful experience. How are you, Sam? You are growing your beard?
Yeah, I want to be crazy like you.
Good. Very good.
I'm really good. I felt like that it was, I would describe it overall as very quick and settled and had that euphoria as well. One experience that I want to share is that when we were going from the head to the heart, I felt a nice red and purple kind of warmness coming up towards my head. And then when we were going between the forehead and the crown, I was just in this state, just bathing in it. And there were no thoughts, and it was kind of just peaceful and happy, and that was it.
Beautiful. You see that? Your consistency brings the result. And that you see that we will understand it is coming later in the Yoga Sutra in a different way. So what happens when the mind moves from the crown of the head to the belly button? What sort of experiences to the heart and also to the forehead? So those experiences gives a deeper insight. Yes, there is a possibility, if I say so, that there is a real self. It's a beautiful. How are you, David and Jerry?
Very excellent, very peaceful, very quiet. When you did that exercise of focusing inside, I think, can't remember inside your mind or close your eyes, and right at the beginning you said focus on a spot. It was like this fast vortex I went into. Beautiful. And then when you did the head to the belly, all of a sudden I just went into, the only thing I can describe it as is infinity. There was no boundaries. There was no, I don't know where, it was just like space. And the rest of the time, through all the different heart and forehead and everything, I was in this vast space and had no definition of time, place, space, color.
That's so wonderful. I can tell you with a surety based on the knowledge that you experience no boundary beyond space-time all the time with eyes open or closed. That is what the masters have been explaining for the last 6,000 years. The way I see you, I can experience the same real self. all the 24/7. So that gives you an idea that no space, but it doesn't mean that I don't see that, it is 5 minutes to 9. I know it. That is outside. But inside, there is a total different experience. How are you, Jerry?
I'm doing well, sir. It was really specific stages for me. So the first hammering of the Om felt like a purification.
Yes.
Like tension left. If a thought came, because I noticed tension, then I was like, oh, I have to hammer faster. And then no thoughts. And then there was some color. And then from the head to the belly, that was like a deep dive with just this relaxation, total comfort, a little green and white. And then when you went from the head to the heart, it was almost like that was a not seeing clearly, kind of like I was working to see clearly. And then when you dropped into the forehead, it was like this white light, and I see clear.
What a beautiful. It's a deepening experiences. Your regular practice is rewarding you. Yes, I know Christina is a little bit waiting for it. So let us have Christina.
Thank you. I am happy to be here. Today, I noticed that I feel like I should have maybe practiced what we've been doing before with out loud saying the Oms, because today my body was completely at peace, but my mind, I was able to realize that I was clinging on to things. And I almost, when you told us to then start moving to wherever we were moving, I kind of wanted to make myself say it out loud, because that has helped me make my mind be better. So it was a great learning experience today. So I really liked it.
You see, from the Christina sharing the experiences, the knowledge in the intellect is making clear, oh, I should have done this. So you have this audio file. You can do that louder one. You see, that is how you know how to override, how to melt those obstacles. It is not the knowledge where we say, intellectual property rights. There is no intellectual property. You learn from your own experiences. Now I'm using the modern term to make you understand clearly. How are you, Daniel?
Thank you. I'm fine. So for me today it was very relaxing, and my mind was floating a little bit up, a little bit down, and I really like this moment with silence, like no voice. And also David described a similar feeling, if I can describe it in a similar way, like no space, no time, just being here and staying in a stable position, stable level.
That's good.
So thank you. Very relaxing, very quiet.
Quite, very good. So you have a similar experiences the way that David. Now ask yourself, if there is no time, space and objects, then who the hell I am? Can you make a guess? I'm pure consciousness. See that? Look at it. And it is a vivid experience. So we are continuing the journey. How are you, my friend Lara?
It was good. It was very quiet. I'm really practicing dispassion and not being attached to anything. And good. So it was just quiet. And I like that it was more silent today.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yes, it is important. Dispassion. Before the dispassion, there is a discernment. And after the dispassion, we have the 6 inner treasures. I think we will talk in detail in Yoga Sutra session. Wonderful experience. How are you, John?
So I found it a little difficult to maintain focus.
No problem.
Yeah, I was drifting until about the end.
You see the greatest...
So,
yeah, continue.
No, it's just you know, as far as holding on to the mantra, I was drifting back and forth and had to come back.
Still, it is a great experience. Why? I know my mind is drifting. Then only I take an action. You see, majority of the people are not at all aware whether their mind is drifting or not. You can meet daily hundreds of people. They are not at all aware. So it's a good recognition. You know the word recognition, cognition, and then there is a prefix. Recognition is a great thing that shows us a path to movement. Oh, how are you, Leslie?
Today was a complete disaster. However, after what you've just said, it was a success because I was aware that I was distracted by the construction next door and by my shopping list and everything that doesn't matter in this moment. So, but it was a complete disaster in terms of peacefulness. And then I got a headache when we were hammering the Om.
Yeah. You see, you rightly said, that's a good point. Recognition, that is the first step. I know that my mind is drifting. Second step is, ask the mind why you are drifting. Is the noise outside is disturbing you? Or your mind is going there and returning back and have a thought that you are disturbed? Recognition at the next level makes your mind away from all the obstacles. We are going to understand. No worries. And how are you, Barbara?
Well, I felt almost from the beginning that I was going very, very deep into the meditation. But for some reason, the last part of it, when we were going from the crown of the head to the forehead, I seem to have come out of it.
See. Yeah. Maybe because of something in the mind popping up which we are not aware. And as we continue the journey, it will happen. That's a good. How are you, Ashok?
Sir, I am good, and today it was more stable and progressive.
Very good.
Thank you.
Good. How are you, Terry? Terry is there. Yes, I have to make one point very clear that needs to be understood. Yes. So, Sangeeta, कैसा रहा?
बहुत पीसफुल था और बहुत ज़्यादा पीसफुल और एक मतलब ऐसा लगता है जैसे फैल रहा है कुछ खुल रहा है.
हाँ ये अच्छा. That's a deeper meditation practice. One thing I want to make clear, and you have to think over it. The first obstacle we said physical illness. So it means if we have some physical illness, should we not do the practice of meditation? Think of it. Contemplate and reflect. Terry is there. I always like to invite Terry for a meditation session.
Hi.
Yes, Terry.
It started out good, and I had a million thoughts, and now I have questions because the dyskinesia really started to fight me when the meditation was at the I'm going between the heart and the crown. And the deeper we go into it, the worse the body thing is fighting me.
Yes.
So my questions are, I don't know why it would do that, but it seems to want to pull you sideways. So if I'm visioning if the Om is rising with the spine,
mind does not want to drop, mind.
The spine is over like this. Do you follow the spine, which is not really supposed to be that way? Or do you imagine it where you...
Look at her smile.
Huh?
I just want to say, look at the smile of the Terry. In these challenges also, the cheerfulness state of the mind is the first quality by which you succeed. That is one thing. And to answer your simple question, one day your mind is deeply identifying with the body. The other day, when it is not identified with the body, then the body remains totally steady. And third day again body identifies. The mind identification. That strong identification comes under the obstacle of delusion. I know I am not the body, and still the mind sticks to the body that I am the body, subconsciously, unconsciously, habitually, instinctively. One day, mind drops that delusion. So your body remains so still. We have seen it. You have seen it. And the other day, the mind says, no way. And that causes the problem. Focusing and moving the mind on these three centers. So no worries. One day we take over the brain. Let the consciousness rule the body. And you will see. Is there any questions? So keep smiling, my friends. That is all for today. That is all for... Okay, ask me the question. Yes, ask me. Leslie wants to ask a question.
I was just saying thank you.
Thank you. I am free. Come on. Continue. Ask question. Yeah. No problem. You can send the question to me if you are not able to ask, and that is all for today. That is all for today. Thank you. We'll meet on Monday.
Thank you.
Thank you.